Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Chair.
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's great to have the opportunity to follow the Select Committee Chair and talk about this, as he says, very, very important part of the government's work, which is growing the skills of young New Zealanders in particular for the 21st century economy, Mr. Chair. I'm going to focus my comments on the tertiary education system, where the government has been delivering very, very good results in terms of increased numbers of full-time students, increased levels of study at the higher levels, and increased numbers of graduates over the last 5 years on. And Mr. Chair, this government has delivered far more while maintaining its investment in tertiary education. The member opposite is now making the point that numbers are starting to drop, which is of course correct. As the economy recovers, there's less people in full-time study, but this government has taken the decision to invest any money saved back into the system in areas such as engineering, science and so on, areas where we need further investment to ensure we deliver the best possible results for our students. Mr. Chair, the whole sector is working very hard on the tertiary education strategy, which runs from last year through to 2019, and that has half a dozen themes. And I thought I'd just cover them very briefly because they are important. The first one, delivering skills for industry. Heard a lot of talk in this chamber tonight about the importance of diversifying our economy, which is absolutely correct, and it's exactly what this government is doing. And in order to do so, we need more people with skills in engineering, more people with skills in ICT, more in the physical sciences and so on, and the agricultural sciences. And that's exactly what we're delivering with the increased investment and tuition subsidies in those areas. We've also done a major reorganisation of the industry training system, which has streamlined and increased the efficiency of that system, and is now delivering many more trades, people who are actually achieving qualifications rather than just being on the list that the previous government used to have, and those people are doing particularly well. Second priority is getting at-risk young people into a career, and that is hugely important. And Mr. Chair, we have a number of initiatives in that space, obviously Youth Guarantee, Trades Academies. This government has put more into this space than any others. It's another of the areas where we inherited a situation where there'd been a lot of hand-wringing but not a lot of action. And now there is very, very significant action in this area. And we also have action in Māori and Pacifica Trades Trading, which is the latest initiative, which also coincides with Priority 3, which is boosting the achievement of Māori and Pacifica. Māori and Pacifica Trades Training is an innovative concept, which in some ways is back to the future, in that it picks up the sort of young Māori cadetships that we had many, many years ago, supplies whānau support, in the case of Pacifica, supplies community and Pacifica Church support, and that is getting a whole lot of younger people in particular into jobs and into industry training and apprenticeship training. The fourth priority is improving adult literacy and numeracy, and the intensive literacy and numeracy fundings, the workplace literacy and numeracy. We're going through a process of, at the moment, of assessing how those are going. We've increased the amount in those areas. We've put a big emphasis on mainstreaming, if you like, the literacy and numeracy at the lower levels of study, and that has meant many, many thousands of people being properly assessed for literacy and numeracy training, and that work is ongoing in terms of providing second chance learners the opportunity for better skills of literacy and numeracy while they're in the workplace. The fifth priority is strengthening research-based institutions. I understand there's been some comments about the performance-based research fund tonight. That has been hugely important in investing and increasing science funding. And this government has taken that from $250 million a year up to $300 million a year. There's centres of research excellence. We've gone from, I think, 6 to 10 of those. And so we're putting some big investments, things like the Marsden Fund, which is another portfolio, but nevertheless, those are big investments. Our total science spend's gone from around $780 million a year to $1.5 billion. You won't hear that from the opposition, but actually that's what's going on. $780 million odd when we came up to about $1.5 billion in the 2015-16 year, Mr Chair. So those investments are important.
Calling Jenny Salisa.